And so, because you are that, you are capable, you are gifted, and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be you. The world awaits to receive you.
Bitch, I'm back. I'm popular demand.
All right, I'm back. I gotta get rejuvenated, guys. I'm about 2 hours in. Ooh, I'm surprised I'm not. Ooh, I was about to say, I'm surprised I'm not sweating. My ass be sweating, y'all. Shit, I ain't do as bad today. Okay, sometimes I don't know. I just don't feel nervous. I think it just be them jitters. It's okay, y'all. Y'all getting used to me. I'm getting used to y'all. Now we're just gonna give y'all a little bit of local news, just a few updates. You know, we haven't talked about Fulton County in a while, and then we're gonna finish off with our last topic, which is war. Okay, war. Okay, we're gonna get into some updates and then get into maps just a little bit. We just got like a few to show. Don't forget about the maps. Okay, some weirdos out there just doing some crazy stuff. Now, the first person I'm going to put on is family to release a private autopsy for Fulton County inmate who died after being in custody. This was 2 weeks ago. Yes, I stopped talking about Fulton County. That's the same place where Trump is being indicted. That's the same place where YSL is being indicted on that RICO charge. And that's the same place we continue to talk about how bad it is. How like, hold on. Let me see how. Let me make. Hold on one second. How bad it is when it comes to the inmate treatment and inmates actually dying, literally dying back to back, and they will not shut this damn jail down. And I done told y'all if you come to Georgia in Fulton County, y'all for me the freakers better get not getting no driving charges, because that could lead you to jail. You'll be in this jail stuck waiting to get a court date. Okay, let's put this up here. And you ain't gonna be see a judge still acting like it's COVID up here. Talking about we backed up. We can't see a judge. Let's go.
We believe that this occurring in 7 South, he had just reported about a month prior that he was attacked in 7 North. Now, the difference between this North and South, it was significant enough to him that when he was attacked in 4 South, when they tried to take him to 4 North, he yelled that he didn't want to be on the same floor. So even though 4 North is on a different side of the floor, to him, he thought, in order to be safe, I don't want to be on the same floor that I was on during the January incident. So now we have a situation where a month before his death, he's on the 7th floor. He reports an attack. Blood is all over his face. They see that he's been beaten, and he's on that same floor on the day that he's killed in a cell. So it is clear to us. Now, where I indicated that there could be more culpability on the part of the sheriff's office is in the wording of Samuel's written complaint, of the federal complaint. He says that inmates were watching some of these incidents. They were encouraging it.
All right. Let me let that play through. Now, I'm going to say this. We can't watch this whole 18-minute video. This is an 18-minute broadcast about what's going on out there. And what I will say is that I believe that Georgia is not equipped for its gangs that's coming here. We're going to talk about it. I grew up where the gangs came from, and these jails need to be set up a certain way so this won't happen. We're going to talk about it.
Beyond what he said, we don't have additional information about that, but we do know that the actions that were taken to protect him were clearly not sufficient, that someone that is reporting that they have received threats from gangs of violence, He's seen shanks. He's been beaten multiple times. That further action should have been taken. The county is responsible for the death of Samuel Lawrence. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office failed in its obligation to protect him.
And we're going to stop right there. So this basically is 2 weeks ago where another gentleman has passed away. The family of a 35-year-old Samuel Lawrence, who died in Fulton County Sheriff Office custody, will be releasing a private autopsy result. So what this says to me is that not only is the harsh conditions in the particular Fulton County jail is an issue, because we talked about the bed bugs, the man being eaten alive, the people dying inside of the infirmary with the nurses and doctors. But this specifically is another issue. They don't know how to organize or categorize their inmates. Georgia in the South, I'm going to say, and not just Georgia, they have not dealt with so many gangs. Okay, when it comes to dealing with particular gangs, you have to have gang units. So if you don't have gang units, then you're going to have something like this. Same thing they do in Jersey. If you're a blood, they put all the bloods on one unit and they put all the Crips on one unit. They know that that will be a state liability for someone knowingly in your records to be part of one other gang and have them in general population and or the opposite population. So this is a direct reflection of Fulton County being overwhelmed with gang and drug activity in itself, not knowing how to take on the tasks of it, not going to other states that has a significant amount of gang activity and people who locked up. That's the last thing I'm going to say. In Georgia, it is a triad state. It really gets on my nerves, even in healthcare. I say, listen, things that are uniform in other states that you have found that work, you literally use that evidence base, okay, and implement it here and see if it works in your particular system instead of you just trying stuff and doing things the way you want to or the good old boy way. This is why you have many individuals that's dying in Fulton County. So I wanted to highlight that. This is another issue. It's not only just the harsh conditions in there with the bed bugs, with the we do, and this was highlighted by this particular incident. Could have been also a reflection of when the inmates was complaining about their family being extorted. Like literally have to call their family to put money on other inmates' books or they was going to be dead, beat up. So guys, please, I'm not taking up for criminals, okay? But what I am taking up for is a just system. At the end of the day, some people who locked up don't all deserve to be in a jail if no one was physically harmed. If you had a ticket, if you ran a red light, you should not be in a jail. No one was harmed. If someone was physically harmed, then I think measures for you to be in jail. That's what the Constitution is based on to me. A crime is based on when someone is physically hurt or some damage has been done, but not damage to a paper law. Okay, so if it's an ordinance and things like running a red light or failure to yield, give a ticket. But should they belong in jail? No. Speeding to the point where it is like out of control and it's danger to people. I think those people should be locked up. Teach them a little lesson. But all of this rest of this stuff is really too much. Okay. So now let's get into it. Another Fulton County jail update. And this was actually October 23rd. Fulton County Jail transfers hundreds of inmates to other facilities. Okay. This is something that I have been calling for the last couple of months. I told you they got to get these people out of here. I don't care. They are human beings. They be your cousin, you coming by, pass here to visit Georgia. Your ass got a little drunk, came from a little party event down in Atlanta and end up in their jail. You don't want that to happen with no bail. Okay, so let's start this. Let's listen to this article.
The Fulton County Jail has gotten much less crowded in the last couple of months as the U.S. Department of Justice has had a presence there since the start of October.
Now, 11 Live's Doug Richards tonight has more on what has now happened.
The Rice Street lockup has seen its population drop sharply, mostly because the county has been successful in moving hundreds of its inmates to other facilities.
They moving them because the feds on their butt. Okay.
The beds on the floor of the Fulton County Jail are nicknamed boats. They're temporary beds, and during COVID, there were more than 500 inmates sleeping on them. But as of Sunday night, Fulton jail officials say 51 inmates were sleeping on boats, with the number dropping rapidly.
They had no choice. You know why they dropped it rapidly? Because they was probably finding them, and they listen. They came down like a bat. They's probably getting fined every day that one inmate was on them bunkers, because they get paid per inmate. And as per their contracts, some of these jails, they have to have minimum living conditions, cells available enough for who they house. So if you don't fall under those private jail contracts correctly, this is probably why they went to move them out so fastly. Because I've been talking about this for the last 6-7 months.
Outsourcing allows us to get people off the floor, out of floor devices off, and really treat people in a humane fashion.
Thank you.
Sheriff Patrick Labatt says the Rice Street jail population has dropped sharply in recent months. Nearly 400 Fulton inmates are now at the Atlanta City Detention Center, but hundreds more are in facilities ranging from Cobb to Oconee counties. That's pushed the population at Rice Street down to about 2077 as of Sunday night, nearly 1,000 fewer inmates than at the troubled jail's population peak. Yet it's still dangerously overcrowded. It was built to hold 1,125 inmates. Its current head count is still almost double that. Labatt says prosecutors and judges need to help reduce the overall number of people jailed.
And figure out how ultimately we can take individuals that have been incarcerated for more than a year and see what that looks like, and working with the judges to see how do we get people into a more safe environment.
Labatt says the ultimate answer to overcrowding here is a new jail, cost of a couple $2 billion. He says that even with the inmate population dropping here, this facility is beyond repair.
Thank you. It's beyond repair. I'm glad he said that. And he said their solution is to build a better, bigger jail, another jail, instead of coming up with solutions to stop the prosecutions of people who don't need to be in jail. Do bail review, have a bail review committee, have a case review committee, wrongful arrest committee. Okay, that's some of the things that lower the actual incarceration rate in Jersey, in the North. I'm just going to be honest, because some people were incarcerated wrongly and charged really harshly. So they had bail review, they had sentencing review committees that people were able to fight and get their case reseen and being released. So these are the things that need to happen in Georgia. But, you know, only people like me that came from the North will bring up solutions like this. So hopefully, you know, people who have the power could start to implement that stuff up here. So that's what's going on in Fulton County news. I got to give y'all a heads up, because you know I haven't talked about Fulton County, but they still on my radar. They are still on my radar. Now we're going to get to maps before we get to talk about war. Okay, when we talk about war, we're going to give you just some insight from actual President Carter and his feelings towards Israel and Palestine. President Carter, they like, what? Yep, I found an old clip on Rumble. Shout out to Revelations Update. Also, we're going to talk about we're not going to talk about. We're going to let you listen to what India has to say in regards to the armed resistance in Palestine, okay? And then we're going to close off with a little bit of conspiracy. How about that? So let's get to the maps right now. Just 2 stories of maps. It is ridiculous. I will put this up on the screen for you.